All necessary arrangements are in place to ensure a smooth convention.
Countdown to climax of internal politics. Political parties set for convention. Get your acts together before Sunday, INEC tells political parties.
Ensure law and order and save lives and property.
And Nigeria Defense Academy churns out new officers. Hello, good evening and welcome to NTN Network News. I'm Joseph Johnson in Abuja. Reading with me tonight is Elizabeth Omori in our Lagos Network Center. Now let's begin with politics because President Muhammadu Buhari has challenged both elected and appointed members of the All Progressives Congress to avoid complacency but work assiduously towards safeguarding the change agenda for sustainable growth and development of the country. Receiving the governor-elect of Osun State, Gboyega Oyetola, the president said this can only be achieved if the party maintains dominance in the nation's political landscape. State House correspondent Adamu Samba reports that President also received other chieftains of the APC.
Thank you very much. Governor-elect.
The Osun State Governor-elect Gboyega Oyetola was presented to President Muhammadu Buhari by the National Chairman of the APC, Adams Oshomole, Chairman of the Campaign Council, Governor Umar Ganduje of Kano State, and the outgoing Governor of the state, Rauf Aregbesola. The president, who later engaged his guests behind closed doors for about 40 minutes, expressed delight that the governing party has maintained its winning streak ahead of the 2019 elections. This, he said, is a clear indication that APC remains the party to beat but warned members against complacency. Chairman of the Campaign Council, Governor Umar Ganduje, spoke to newsmen after the meeting.
We have to thank Mr. President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, for providing an enabling environment for true, fair election in Osun State. We assure you that our candidate won overwhelmingly.
By the grace of God, we run a very transparent government. The governor, the party has done so well in Osun, and we want to continue to consolidate on those achievements and improve on them in the area of infrastructure, in the area of health, in the area of particularly economy. And I believe that the people have confidence in our party, who believe in us, and will not abuse the opportunity given to us to continue to be in government.
The president expressed joy and assured us that the party will continue to enjoy support from his administration and his own person. And charged us not to relent in mobilizing our people to support his own election and the return of our parliamentarians at the state and national assemblies. And we made commitment to him.
Governor Rauf Aregbesola in particular used the opportunity to react to the protest by some presidential aspirants and leaders of the PDP over the Osun governorship election.
After an election, the only option, not just one option, the only option left for every responsible citizen is to go to the tribunal. So I don't now know what the protest we're talking about is meant to do.
President Muhammadu Buhari also granted audience separately to Governor Nasir Ahmed El-Rufai of Kaduna State, former Governor of Delta State, Emmanuel Oduogan, the Senator representing Zamfara Central, and governorship aspirant Kabiru Garba Marafa, and the former Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Ayim Pius Ayim.
The President restated his position that he's a Democrat, he's a product of elections, and he has never encouraged non-election.
So there's some appreciable performance by the APC-led government as far as Delta State is concerned. So I just came to appreciate him and to let him know that as APC members, we shall campaign aggressively for APC to win all elections in Delta State.
I discussed with him the problems, especially security in Zamfara. I don't want my ambition to be the cause of anybody losing his life, and we have started seeing it.
President Buhari's political engagements continued. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
About 7,000 delegates are expected to participate in the APC Presidential National Convention scheduled for Saturday, 6th of October in Abuja. Saliu Abdullahi has a situation report.
It will be the second time that APC delegates will be converging to take decision on who flies the party's flag in the presidential election. The first time a similar exercise took place was in Lagos in 2014, where President Muhammadu Buhari, who this time around is the sole candidate of APC, contested alongside 4 other aspirants. For the party's 2018 exercise, 3 delegates from each of the 774 local governments and statutory delegates are expected to confirm and ratify President Muhammadu Buhari as the candidate of the APC following a nationwide direct presidential primary that was conducted. The Presidential National Convention Committee says all is set for a hitch-free exercise expected to commence by 2 p.m. at the Eagle Square, Abuja.
Despite some of the problems we have encountered during the primaries in our various states, the National Working Committee of the party is working assiduously to resolve all the issues, and all necessary arrangements are in place to ensure a smooth convention.
Meanwhile, the party has released the names of its governorship candidates in 24 states. As at the time of this report, the process of primary election is underway in the 5 states, namely Enugu, Imo, Kwara, Adamawa, and Zamfara.
So definitely today they will start the process, the governorship process intake. By tomorrow, I think we'll finish all those processes and the result will start coming in.
In Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi, NTA News.
Now, with me in the studio to discuss preparations for the convention of the All Progressives Congress is Minister of Power, Works and Housing, Babatunde Raji Fashola. You're welcome to NTA Network News.
Good evening.
Yes, so about 7,000 delegates for Saturday's convention. Quite a number, isn't it?
Yes, and I think that if you appreciate that they're only delegates, not the full number of members of the party, we've done a lot of trimming in order to ensure that there's convenience and there's comfort. Conventions are very exciting times for party members. It affords the opportunity to travel from different places to meet old friends, and tomorrow's convention will be no less exciting, and it will afford us an opportunity to again do something new. And they also set the platform, really, of the beginning of campaigns and messaging.
Okay, so you said the number might just increase subsequently?
Well, you can't keep party members away, but I mean, there are processes in place for accreditation, for admission, and all of that, which have been announced by members of the Convention Planning Committee for transportation and logistics and all of that. But party members being party members, conventions are very exciting events. They want to be there.
Okay, so
candidates are also going to be sending their messages, their banners, supporting. So we expect it to be no less a carnival affair than what we had in Lagos 4 years ago.
Exactly. That brings me to my next question. So what has the convention committee put on ground to ensure free movement and security of delegates?
Well, I can tell you, for example, that announcements have been made for delegates coming from outside of Abuja to arrive and head to the National Stadium. Arrangements have been made to bus them from there to the convention center at Eagle Square. Delegates moving from within Abuja were being advised to go to the old parade ground.
Okay.
Again, arrangements have been made to bus them from there, and delegates will be admitted based on the admission cards and tags and identification cards that have been issued and are still being distributed, I believe. Also, for residents of Abuja who are not party members, arrangements have been made, announcements have been made for diversion of traffic so that we don't inconvenience them. They can get on with their lives, and this is also about them. So arrangements have been made by the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, who is in charge of transport, and his team about the diversions and places that will be closed and the routes that are available for commuters to get on with their lives without being inconvenienced.
Okay, Minister, this is actually not an elective convention. So explain to me in basic terms, what would these delegates do?
It is part of the process of producing the presidential flag bearer of the party. So this is the, like a company, this is the AGM, really, where the members affirm decisions and all of that. And one of the decisions that will be affirmed is that of the presidential flag bearer, although there is no other candidate running against him, but that will still be part of the event and signals, as I said, the beginning really of full-blown messaging and campaigning, where we'll be taking our message of moving Nigeria forward to the Nigerian people, running on our record and our achievements over the last few years.
Yeah, you talked about message. I'm sure there's a whole load of messages to, put across there to Nigerians. So what should Nigerians expect from the convention and beyond?
As I said, the emergence of a presidential flag bearer for our party, even though he's known, the processes to complete that.
What's the central message?
The message is that we are moving Nigeria forward. We are getting on with our work. We are consolidating on what we have achieved over the last 3 years. We are intensifying and entrenching change. One of the things that you probably recall is that this was a party that was never going to be formed. They said it will never happen. A merger will never happen. It has never happened in the history of Nigeria. A merger happened. They said our first convention, the party will implode. The party didn't implode. We elected our officers. They said, oh, our presidential convention will break up the party. A presidential mandate winner emerged, and for the first time, all his opponents rallied behind him, conceded. It was the first of its type in modern-day democracy in Nigeria. They said the candidate will not win. The candidate won. They said the incumbent will not hand over. The incumbent handed over. And those are the things that have changed in this country. And there will be more of this because we just keep moving forward against the odds.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so very much. That's all we have time for at the moment. But it's been nice speaking with you, Minister.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much indeed. And best wishes in the convention.
Thank you very much.
And of course, we'll be keeping a close eye on that convention for you. We're still talking about political matters. The National Working Committee of the All Progressives Congress has adopted governorship candidates for the forthcoming 2019 general elections. In a statement signed by the acting National Publicity Secretary of the APC, Yakini Nabena, the party approved the list of its governorship standard bearers for the 24 states, as can be seen on the screen. The All Progressives Congress holds its national convention this Saturday to confirm President Muhammadu Buhari as its standard bearer for the presidential election next year. 6 APC governorship aspirants in Imo State want the National Working Committee of the party to affirm the result of the October 1st governorship primary election held in the state. At a media briefing in Abuja, the aspirants equally expressed their support to Senator Hope Uzodinma, winner of the purported exercise, which according to them was held peacefully across the 305 wards of the state and represented the massive wish of party members. In the meantime, the acting National Publicity Secretary of the APC, Mr. Yakini Nabena, in a swift reaction says the decision by the 6 aspirants in Imo State is purely their own affair, stressing that the National Working Committee stands by its decision for a new exercise. The 8th All Progressives Congress APC governorship aspirants in Taraba State who dissociated themselves from the just concluded governorship primary election have called on supporters to remain calm as they are consulting with the National Secretariat for appropriate action. At a news conference, the aspirants claimed the exercise was marred with irregularities. Joseph Orsen reports.
The All Progressives Congress APC in Taraba State adopted a direct governorship primary election. But while the election was being held, 8 aspirants out of the 10 contesting for the candidature of the party came out to issue a press briefing unanimously dissociating themselves from the election. They allege the event was full of irregularities ranging from rigging, ballot box snatching, violence, intimidation of electorate and members of the general public.
And there was no election at the end of the day. In the southern part of Taraba, Bukari specifically where I come from, there was not even election. There was hijack of materials and land resources had been brought to Jalingo.
The aspirants called on the National Secretariat of APC to either organize fresh governorship primary election in Taraba State or select anyone among them to carry out the flag of the party come 2019.
But we strongly believe that anybody among these 4 of them, among 8 of us, can deliver.
What we are trying to do is to get Taraba on a footage that will be peaceful elections.
All the 8 aspirants attended their briefing in Jalingo. Joseph Sound Otsen, NTA News.
And the leadership of the All Progressives Congress in Nasarawa State reaffirmed commitment to work for the re-election of President Buhari and other aspirants of the party in next year's general election. From Lafayette, Joshua Ojito reports that the leaders also agreed to bury their differences for peace and stability in the state.
It is not the first meeting between Governor Umaru Tanko Al-Mukura and Senator Abdullahi Adamu on ensuring the victory of APC in all elections. However, this may be historic to all party stakeholders following recent rift between the two leaders over what many allege as political differences on the choice of candidates. They say now is the time to mend fences and commence peace-building process with all aspirants who lost at the primary in order to unite the party for victory in the 2019 election.
For us in Nasarawa, me and the senator, we are on the same page. And that is to the admiration of all our supporters. I make bold to say that we are working together as brothers, as friends, as people with the same objective and destiny for the purposes of ensuring the sustainability of the good work our mentor, our leader, President Muhammadu Buhari, has been doing.
This outstanding is symbolic of what we expect every leader, every member of our great APC family to so do. What is left now is for us to mend fences, and they have all accepted what God has done. Our support as a state for our president and the government of Muhammadu Buhari is unshaken.
While Governor Al-Mukura is contesting for Nasarawa South Senatorial District election, Senator Abdullahi Adamu will fly the party's ticket for Nasarawa West Senatorial Zone election in 2019. Meanwhile, other candidates have continued to congratulate the governor over the peaceful conduct of primaries in the state. In Lafia, Joshua Ojito, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the National Working Committee (NWC) of the All Progressives Congress (APC) announces Mr. Dakbo Abiodun as winner of the party's Ogun State governorship primary. A statement by the acting National Publicity Secretary of the All Progressive Congress stated that Abiodun won the primary election after scoring 102,305 votes, while other aspirants scored the following: Jimmy Lowell, 51,153. Kunle Akinlade, 23,443. Bimbo Ashiru, 29,764. Senator Adegbenga Kaka, 17,771. And Abayomi Semako Koroto, 9,610. Ex-football international Segun Adegbami has emerged a consensus governorship candidate for Zenith Labour Party in Ogun State. This followed a meeting of the party in Abeokuta where the decision was taken. Adegbami promised to make a difference if voted into power in 2019 general elections and thanked the party for the opportunity.
Presenting the party's standard bearer to party faithful, the Ogun State chairman Awoniyi Awofala noted that Adegbami emerged through a transparent process as a result of his outstanding qualification.
The process of picking our governorship candidate is a transparent one. We allow every other person in the party to pick the nomination form. It's not a direct primary, it's an indirect primary. With an indirect primary, we have already screened some people out of the process. Some people voted for those that you saw to be here. It's a delegate primary.
The Zenith Labour Party governorship candidate promised to make Ogun State a better place for all to live if elected into office in 2019.
The mission is to make Ogun State that epicenter, and we are going to use development in health, in education, in agriculture, in productivity, in job creation, in youth empowerment, and in social welfare programs for women and the elderly and the disadvantaged in society to drive this mission.
He called on party supporters to mobilize the people at the grassroots in order for the party to be victorious come 2019.
In the meantime, all the 13 presidential aspirants of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, have signed a pact that mandates them to abide by the outcome of the party's national convention in Port Harcourt. Timothy Yusuf reports.
The national chairman of the PDP, Uche Secondus, distributed copies of the signed agreement to the presidential aspirants at the Legacy House, Abuja. The PDP presidential aspirants thereafter joined the party's leadership in a peaceful protest to INEC headquarters over the recent Osun governorship poll. National Commissioner in charge of legal matters, May Agbamuche Umbo, on behalf of INEC Chairman Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, explained the commission is apolitical and will continue to remain so.
And we're not politicians, and we intend to do our best come 2019. I must say that we are a team, and decisions are made by the commission and not by any individual. And we look forward to 2019. Each and every one of you here present will be proud of INEC. Nigerians will be proud of INEC.
The National Commissioner and other principal officers of INEC implored the protesters to sustain the peaceful manner through which they registered their grievance. In Abuja, Timothy Yusuf, NT News.
Also, the People's Democratic Party has concluded arrangements for conducting presidential primaries ahead of the 2019 general elections. Correspondent Robinson Deterede reports that party's leaders, aspirants and delegates have arrived Port Harcourt for the event.
Aspirants and delegates started arriving at the Port Harcourt International Airport for the PDP National Convention from the early hours of Friday. Party chieftains and friends were on ground to convey dignitaries to their destinations, from where they are expected to move to the Amir Simaka Stadium, venue of the convention. Some of them are excited and hope to savour the river's hospitality while in Port Harcourt. They advise delegates to vote wisely to produce a credible candidate to contest the highest office in the land in 2019.
I appeal to delegates is that they should not be allowed themselves to be bought.
We are going to channel all our energies, all our arsenal, all our capabilities in the PDP to whoever emerges at the presidential flag bearer in Port Harcourt.
For us, we're working very hard to deliver a credible process that is free and fair, transparent, and to the satisfaction and admiration of all.
Accreditation of delegates starts 7 a.m. on Saturday, with 12 aspirants contesting to raise the PDP flag. In Port Harcourt, Robinson Deratede, NTA News.
The Independent National Electoral Commission INEC is reminding the 89 political parties that gave notice of their intention to conduct their primaries that Sunday, 7th of October 2018 remains the deadline for the conduct and settlement of all disputes arising from the primary elections. The last day for the submission of the lists of their sponsored candidates remains 18th of October 2018 for Presidential and National Assembly, while 2nd of November 2018 for Governorship and State Houses of Assembly. A statement signed by the National Commissioner and Chairman Information and Voter Education Committee, Solomon Adedeji Soyebi, indicates that the INEC will only accept the list of candidates submitted by the National Chairman and the National Secretary. Now let's take your mind off politics for a little while as we go on a break. To be back shortly.
Inside this beautiful house, inside there is a very beautiful family. And in this family, there is a lot of love. And inside this love, there's Alpenliebe. And in the center of Alpenliebe, there is a filling made with rich milk and creamy caramel. Alpenliebe, the milk-filled candy that warms your heart with love. Alpenliebe, bring hearts closer.
The chairman of All Progressives Congress, APC National Convention Planning Committee, cordially invites all delegates to the 2018 National Convention to elect the presidential candidate of the party as follows. Date, Saturday, October 6, 2018. Venue, Eagle Square, FCT, Abuja. Time, 2 p.m. His Excellency, Senator Abiola Ajimobi, Executive Governor, Oyo State, Chairman, National Convention Planning Committee. Announcer.
Hello.
Hi, Jenny. Can you supply 1,000 bottles of juice by noon?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, bye.
Hello.
One day, I go any store and say I want everything.
Jenny, auntie, please, I need a loan.
One day, anything I want.
Hurry up.
Get it times 2. Someday, I'll be living.
Hello.
Clean that up. Clean that up. Because I don't get the money, you downgrade me.
Your order is on the way.
Are you an entrepreneur looking for financing to grow a business? I have good news for you. Development Bank of Nigeria now provides sustainable financing through commercial banks, microfinance banks, and other financial institutions with repayment terms of up to 10 years. Please do remember, paying back your loan in good time will give you access to more loans.
Development Bank of Nigeria, financing sustainable growth.
The Association of National Accountants of Nigeria, ANAN, announces its 23rd Annual Conference of Certified National Accountants. Theme, Economic Recovery and Growth, Issues and Options. Venue, International Conference Center, FCT, Abuja. Date, Monday 8 to Thursday 11th October 2018. Time 9 a.m. prompt. Keynote speaker, Mr. Kiari Bukar, Chairman, Nigeria Economic Summit Group. Host, Alhaji Shehu Usman Laden, President and Chairman of Council of ANAN. Chairman of the conference, Professor Samuel Ediomukumo, Vice Chancellor, Niger Delta University, Bayelsa State. The conference will be declared open on Tuesday 9th October 2018 by His Excellency, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, GCON, Vice President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Dr. Nuruddin A. Abdullahi, Registrar, Chief Executive, Announcer.
Fake news which is shared for malicious purposes is a danger to our peace and security in Nigeria. Misinformation as fake news is a serious threat to our hard-earned democracy and promotes hatred and misunderstanding between our communities. We are all responsible for stopping the spread of fake news in its tracks. So, always check the source and credibility of any news item. Say no to fake news. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information.
Buhari can't wake me for death. As my matter be, it be like he say, person die, person God can't wake him. Now so Buhari can't wake me from death. But I not get something when they go give her unless thank you. I did get change to make farm. Then he helped me house. The house when I did before, he dey link. Before I born, 5 pikin. You know, I no get food when I go give them. That's why I share them. But now my pikin, they near me. Sunday with me now. No be like before. I happy. I thank you well. I no see am, but God go carry my I do a go meet her where I dey.
You're watching NTN Network News with me, Joseph Johnson. Report just reaching us says the National Working Committee of the APC has dissolved the Zamfara state executives of the party at all levels. Acting National Publicity Secretary of APC, Yakini Nabena, says the NWC will inaugurate a committee to conduct the governorship and legislative primaries in the state. The primaries will hold from Saturday, October 6 to Sunday, October 7, 2018. To other matters now, the federal government has reiterated the importance of a digital-driven economy which will focus on human development, education and job creation. Vice President Professor Yemi Osinbajo was at the 2018 Technology as a Catalyst conference in Lagos, where he stressed the need to deploy technology on various sectors of the economy. Paulo Mukago reports.
The 2018 TAC conference, an initiative of a private law firm, provided a platform for Vice President Professor Yemi Osinbajo to outline government e-governance plans. While the federal government is creating the enabling environment for private sector to thrive, the Vice President emphasized the need for collaboration between the public and private sectors. The rationale in establishing the Presidential Enabling Environment Council is stressed is to midwife the process of removing delays and other obstacles.
With technology, our ministries, departments, and agencies, and now even some state governments have been able to reduce the operational costs, reduce corruption, revitalize participation and investment in numerous sectors of the economy.
The federal government, Professor Osinbajo further explained, is focused on making the country an investment-friendly environment in line with global best practices, adding that the digital identity project of the government is to develop updated international standard cybersecurity that recognizes data privacy and confidentiality. In Lagos, Paulo Mukago, NTA News.
The federal government says it remains committed to the cause of the teaching profession, adding that efforts are being intensified to improve teacher education for skills acquisition through teachers' continuous professional development. President Muhammadu Buhari stated these in a message to the 2018 World Teachers' Day held at the Eagle Square, Abuja. Abdullahi Musa Suleja has details.
Is described as the noble profession that every achiever in whatever field should be proud of. For decades now, a day is set aside to appreciate teachers to discharge such responsibility. The theme for this year's day is "The right to education means the right to a qualified teacher." Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, who represented the President, said, "The present administration acknowledges the contribution of teachers in improving the standard of education, a feat that informs the sustenance of the Presidential Teachers and Schools Excellence Award."
In Nigeria, with over 10 million out-of-school children, at least 250,000 additional teachers are needed to achieve the recommended teacher-people ratio of 1 to 30. This assumption is premised on the ground that a good number of the already employed teachers are trained and qualified.
Minister of Education Malam Adamu said over 2 million applicants have sat for examination to qualify as teachers in the country. To reward those who excel and to ginger other teachers to do more, awards were presented to different categories of both teachers and education administrators. Those selected smiled home with new motor cars, while the best school got an 18-seater bus. Other awards were presented to distinguished members in the profession. Abdullahi Musa Suleja, NTA News.
Increasing the skills and competencies of the military is central in the federal government agenda in achieving a secured Nigeria. Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, stated this at the 29th Convention of the National Defense Academy Kaduna. Mia Ogidi reports.
National Defense Academy, a journey of 54 years of fidelity, instilling the fundamentals of modern-day military practices in young officers and sound academic minds. Here are 1,562 graduates, comprising postgraduate students and 66 regular course cadets, with steps of victory and faces beaming with smiles and laughter, as their names are now written in the book of success, though with one more giant step to take.
They cannot pass out till when they are out of the parade ground. So let them keep on doing the good job they have been doing for the past 4 or 5 years.
The combat strength and the academic prowess being acquired in this premier institution can only attract more accreditation from many Nigerians when they pour out their venom on criminals and show some level of consideration while dealing with civilians.
As young officers and platoon commanders, taking risky steps that would defeat the enemy, safeguard soldiers, ensure law and order, and save lives and property. I charge you to go out there and conquer the world.
As the 66 regular course cadets ponder over their full dodge of the code of conduct from the federal government, postgraduate students also task themselves.
Patriotism and nationalism. Once you have that as your guiding code, of course you will commit your best in terms of skills and capability to secure everything that Nigeria needs as a sovereign state.
It was a gathering where almost everyone had a moment to remember, as honorary doctorate degrees were awarded to deserving individuals who have excelled in their callings. From the National Defense Academy, Kaduna, Mie Ogidi, NT News.
And the Nigerian Air Force says it will continue to place premium on logistics as it is pivotal to the conduct of air operations. Chief of Air Staff Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar re-emphasized this at the 2018 Nigerian Air Force Logistics Conference held in Abuja. Defense correspondent Olajide Bello reports.
Despite the asymmetric nature of warfare that has been presenting itself in the country, the Nigerian Air Force has continued to play a vital role through effective air support to ground troops towards degrading insurgency. These successes recorded so far in the Nigerian Air Force's constitutional responsibility of protecting the nation's integrity have been attributed to President Buhari's administration's support to the armed forces. Also, among priorities of the Chief of the Air Staff is to reposition the force to be more responsive in deploying air power. The 2018 Logistics Conference, which is the latest in the series, therefore, is another platform to inject dynamic innovations and strategies to the logistics architecture of the force to be more proactive and responsive.
I believe that whenever a structural problem is identified, the first thing to do in solving that problem is to ensure that the structure or framework is right, so that strategies developed are delivered properly.
It is also the belief of the current Nigerian Air Force leadership that the NAV logistics procedures require a review in line with emerging realities and international best practices.
The theme for the conference is optimization of Nigerian Air Force logistics architecture, a prerequisite for effective air operations in the Nigerian Air Force. In Abuja, Olajide Bello, NTA News.
Minister of Finance Zainab Ahmed has tasked financial regulators and revenue-generating agencies to step up efforts at ensuring that the socio-economic objective of government is achieved for the development of the country. This was during a visit to agencies under the ministry. Musa Abubakar reports.
Crucial to attaining the objective of the Buhari administration is robust revenue generation and stabilizing the microeconomic environment. This is not lost on the Minister of Finance, Zainab Ahmed's agenda, who is quickly settling down and getting familiarized with institutions of government critical to the realization of the Economic Recovery and Growth Plan, ERGP, as well as macroeconomic objectives. The minister therefore visited Nigeria Customs Service, where she emphasized the importance of the institution in growing the Nigerian economy, as well as creating a conducive environment for economic activities to thrive.
We don't have a debt problem. Our debt to GDP is still below 3%, which is the threshold by our fiscal responsibility. And what we have is a revenue problem to pay for recurrent as well as capital expenditure. We design our budgets to be funded by loans, which is not a healthy situation to be in.
The Nigerian Customs Service play a major role in the contribution of revenue into the Federation account for running the state.
The visit aimed at strengthening synergy. The minister says is pivotal as she seeks to build on the progress made by her predecessor. In Abuja, I am Musa Abubakar, NTA News.
Stakeholders in the mining and natural resources sector have commended the Buhari administration for the review and development in the sector, targeted at promoting economic growth, diversification and job creation. This came to the fore at the second meeting of the National Council on Mining and Mineral Resource Development in Kaduna. Ibrahim Bello Gunda has the story.
Meeting with a team, Minerals and Metals Sector Frontier for National Economic Diversification is sequel to the deliberation of the maiden edition, which aims at encouraging collaboration with stakeholders on mining policies and implementation, among others. Minister of State for Mines and Steel Development, Abubakar Bawabari, said, one of the core pillars of the present administration's economic policy is repositioning of the major industries, mining and agriculture, to increase government revenue, create jobs, and expand range of economic opportunities available to Nigerians.
Collaboration with states has really improved the mining environment, has made it more friendly, and investors now find it easier to operate.
There were also exhibition of solid mineral resources found in the country and inauguration of projects at the National Steel and Raw Material Exploration Agency, Kaduna. Ibrahim Bello Gunda, NTA News.
The new national president's Nigeria Union of Journalists, NUJ, Chris Isikuzo, has been sworn in alongside other executive members who are to run the affairs of the NUJ for the next 3 years. Correspondent Shegun Laole has the report.
Chris Isikuzo has been elected as the newest president.
It was a keenly contested NUJ election with 17 positions up for grabs, with 33 contestants. 9 of the positions were unopposed, while some were re-elected and the incumbent president unseated. Surprisingly, none of the 7 contestants for the office of the president stepped down for the radar. With 346 votes, Chris Isikuzo emerged the overall winner, followed by Wahid Ojushile, the immediate past president, who polled 329 votes. Dele Atubi of NTA headquarters came third with 101 votes.
We didn't fail the people of Southeast Zone for 6 years. And at this level, we are going to do even more of the much we did at the zonal level. It is going to be a bumper harvest for Nigerian journalists. My major focus is going to be welfare for Nigerian journalists.
And in the true spirit of sportsmanship, 2 other major contenders, Wahid Odushile and Dele Atubi, readily congratulated the new NUJ president, Comrade Chris Isikuzo.
I want to appeal to all journalists in Nigeria. Let's support the new president of the union and ensure that we do everything possible to give him our best support and to really rally around him to take the NUJ to the next level.
I will congratulate the person who won, and then It is not winning an election that matters. It is not winning an election that matters. What matters most is what are the things that you have off your sleeves to offer the people. And you deserve the best. We cannot afford to grope in darkness.
The election was conducted peacefully, and the NLC's head of information, Benson Okpa, was the returning officer, with most of the past NUJ presidents in attendance. In Abuja, Shagunlawole, NT.
The overwhelming feeling of winning. Congrats to Chris Ikusikwizo. Time now to join Elizabeth in Lagos for stories making the rounds in that zone.
It's nice to see you, Joseph, and a warm welcome to Lagos. A book which discusses the unique attributes of Nigeria and challenges which hinder potential to becoming Africa's greatest power has been presented to the public in Lagos. The publication, titled Nigeria, What Everyone Needs to Know, provides an accessible, one-of-a-kind overview of Nigeria. Ken Igbelue reports that the book is written by former U.S. Ambassador to Nigeria, John Campbell, and Matthew Page.
Given the country's religion, political and ethnic complexity, as well as its economic and demographic standing, Nigeria, according to the author, is frequently misunderstood by the outside world. The book, Nigeria, What Everyone Needs to Know, clarifies this misunderstanding by explaining Nigeria's history, politics, religion, security issues, economic and foreign policies. The author suggested ways Nigeria can be great by harnessing our potential.
By focusing on infrastructure development, combating corruption, reforming the military and the security services, opening up more opportunities for women to participate in politics, or in a host of other ways.
The reason why so many Americans have a negative impression about Nigeria is due to the source of their information about Nigeria. But they know far less about many of the positive things that Nigeria brings to the world.
It is an outline of what the challenges are and how to cope with the challenges.
Ambassador John Campbell also condemned in strong terms the United States President Donald Trump's derogatory comments on Africa and Nigeria in particular.
The tweets and the comments made by the president about Africa are wrong, and they fundamentally damage the image of the United States in Africa, and as such are most unfortunate. That said, the United States relations with Africa and the bilateral relationship with Nigeria are a lot more than presidential tweets.
The 7-chapter book highlights the efforts of President Muhammadu Buhari fighting corruption in Nigeria. In Lagos, Ken Igbelue, NTA News.
In its continued drive to add comfort to life, Mocha Limited, one of Nigeria's leading mattress manufacturing companies, has unveiled a new generation of mattresses and pillows in Lagos. Annie Daniels was at the ceremony and now reports.
That was the unveiling of new generation of spring mattresses and launch of the Mundio spring mattress, as well as a range of pillows by Mocha Limited. The company's management says the new products have undergone extensive product development and feature superior spring technology for maximum support and spine alignment, as well as air vents to optimize sleep comfort.
When we listened to consumers, they said the old spring mattress, sometimes the spring poked out of the mattress, and that was a concern. The Mocha Mundio spring guarantees that that will not happen. If we look at the Mundio spring mattress that we're launching today, what we brought to market there is complete state-of-the-art spring technology. We've actually invested in bringing in equipment made in Switzerland that will produce this state-of-the-art spring mattress in Nigeria.
This actually cost the business huge amount of investment into new technology, which is the superior one that no other person in the country can boast of.
The company says the mattresses and pillows are not only durable, but affordable with 5-year guarantee and come in a range of sizes to meet the demands of the majority of the population.
The comfortability of the mattress is very important in ensuring good quality sleep.
And I think with this, we're going to go places.
It is a new millennium product to Mocha.
With the launch of Mocha Mondio spring mattresses and range of pillows, Nigerians are sure to wake up with smiles on their faces and springs in their feet, as well as have value for money. In Lagos, Annie Daniels, NTA News.
Nigeria's economy is still on the trajectory of growth despite normalization of rate by U.S. Brent. Rising from a meeting in Lagos, the Bankers Committee suggests ways towards real growth as the capital market closed the week in the red. Let's now join Abolade Salami for details of these and more in our Business News segment.
Good evening and thanks for joining us on the Business News segment. As some emerging markets reacted negatively to the normalization of rates by the United States Brent, which resulted in huge outflow of capital from emerging markets, Director of Banking Supervision, Central Bank of Nigeria, Hamid Abdullahi says confidence in our economy is still relatively very high.
Nigeria is even lucky in the sense that it's not as bad hit as some other emerging economies. I'm sure you're aware that the South African economy is already in recession. Economies such as Turkey, Indonesia, and Argentina are suffering more from this global development than Nigeria. Confidence in our economy is still relatively high in the sense that there is stability in the forex market.
Very soon, or sometime in the future, the central bank may start looking at ways to reduce, in terms of allocations to specific types of items, because we would have been producing sufficient locally to enable us to restrict imports. That way, the amount of pressure on our foreign reserves would reduce.
The federal government has renewed its commitment to maintain a strong partnership base with the private sector with a view to sustaining domestic and foreign investors' confidence in the economy.
That maintaining a strong partnership with the private sector was a sure means of realizing the vision for the economy. And this has been the common thread in our various initiatives to restore investment flows.
And now let's take you to the floor of the exchange to see how trading closed this Friday. Stock Market Report concludes Business News segment. The news continues shortly. Please stay with us.
You in the air-conditioned office with the itchy throat, Strepsils. Girl in the spotlight with the raspy throat, Strepsils. You in the pollution, it's you, dry throat, Strepsils. Hello in the downpour with the scratchy throat, take Strepsils.
Strepsils, with its soothing medicinal ingredients, will heal the harm done to your throat from external factors.
Strepsils! Strepsils!
Strepsils, for a dry, itchy, raspy, scratchy throat.
Darling, what's the matter? It's your birthday. Guests are already waiting at the pool.
It's headache, cold, pains all over my body.
Cold Time Anti-Cold Tablet contains powerful ingredients specially prepared to bring you fast relief from headache, body ache, cough, flu, cold, and fever. Baby, how are you feeling now?
Wow, I feel great thanks to Cold Time Tablet.
Cold Time Tablet also available in syrup for children. If symptoms persist after 3 days, consult your doctor. Cold Time Anti-Cold Tablet, a quality product from Embassy Pharmaceutical and Chemicals Limited. Cold Time Anti-Cold Tablet, your visa to healthy living.
So Clean, the detergent brand trusted by millions of Nigerians. For decades, its 30% concentrated formula has been trusted to wash faster, brighter, cleaner. So Clean with stain magnet technology. The advanced enzyme formula pulls trapped dirt out of fiber like a magnet. So Clean with stain magnet technology for even better stain removal.
Thanks for staying with NTN Network News. We are back in Abuja. President Muhammadu Buhari's administration's drive in repositioning the oil sector is geared towards giving the country an edge in oil exploration in the international market. Minister of State Petroleum Dr. Emmanuel Ibe Kachuku stated this during the groundbreaking of a 5,000 barrels per day refinery in Egbema community in Ohaji, Egbema local government area of Imo State. Kate Oshunwa reports.
The Minister for State Petroleum, Dr. Emmanuel Ibe Kachuku, after performing the ceremony, stated that the Watersmith refinery in Ibigwe, under private sector initiative, aims at achieving availability of petroleum products in the domestic and international fronts.
They're breaking the soil, they're beginning their construction from what you can see. Obviously, because of the criticality of refining, I'm thinking that at some point, government will bring out money and let NCDMB lead a charge to manage those resources just to prove refining. The Secretary, Nigeria Content Development Monetary Board, and the Chairman, Watersmith Petroman Oil Limited, among other stakeholders and personalities, said that the oil company should prioritize local content in line with set guidelines for smooth and effective operations.
It's in line with our vision as NCDMB to be a catalyst for the industrialization of the Nigerian oil and gas industry and its linkage sectors.
Watersmith will be in a position to contribute about 271 million liters of refined products, comprising diesel, kerosene, HPFO, and naphtha.
I believe and hope that the success of this project will be extended to the infrastructural, educational, and spiritual needs of the people.
We believe in the president, and we are urging him to use this opportunity to facilitate the speedy passage of this bill and the consequent signing into law.
Watersmith Ibigwe Flow Station started operations in the area with upstream activities 10 years ago. The construction of the 5,000 barrel per day modular refinery is expected to be completed in 18 months. From Egbema in Ohaji, Egbema local government area of Imo State, Kate Osunwa, NTA News.
Let's go on another very quick break. We'll be back. Don't go away.
God Almighty, with the immediate family of Taribo Malcolm Bedi member in Abonima, Akukutoru local government area of Rivers State, announced the death of our dearly beloved husband and father, Sir Chief Dr. Taribo Malcolm Bedi member, whose death occurred recently. He was aged 86. Burial arrangement, Saturday, 6th October 2018, 6:30, body leaves Ashes to Ashes mortuary for commendation service at Christ Church, Port Harcourt. 8 a.m., body leaves for his hometown, Abonima. 9:30 a.m., body received with cannon shots at Owusera by chiefs and families with a canoe regatta. 11 a.m., lying in state at Members Memorial Hall. 2 p.m., open air funeral service followed by interment. He is survived by Lady Caroline Ineagogo member, wife Sotoye Wabwoku, Tariboba member Eniola, Ibie Ukoko, Ibifubara Ibe, Fabiawari Eru, daughters, and Tamnosaki Malcolm member, son. May his gentle soul rest in peace. Signed, Lady Caroline Ineagogo member. For the family.
And now sports with Kene Emma Abudike.
The 2018 National Kwese Premier Basketball League Final 8 competition enters semi-finals Saturday in Kano, with defending champions Kano Pillars set to battle arch